GM, everybody, welcome to another shitcoin talk with Jinzo and Jake. A bit of a dry time in the market, but we're still here, still grinding. Jake, what's up, buddy? What are you seeing out there? How are you?
I got up at the worst time.
You're
Great,
still eating.
man. Great. Yeah, no, unfortunately, yeah, especially on the soul front, it's been not great. For runners, there hasn't been really much at all. I mean, even like the bigger memes have been kind of bleeding a bit, along with just soul in general. It feels like people are focused on other ecosystems, like the Dino coins that are running the XRPs and Litecoins of the world, and also base stuff has taken over. I think a good amount of market share. It seems recently with all the AI stuff launching over on base and happening over on base. I think that's kind of siphoning some volume from and attention as well from the soul stuff, which we can obviously talk more through. But yeah, excited to get into it today. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, guys. And this is also a very, open forum, chill, relaxed conversation. So you guys please feel free to jump in on the convo as well. We'd love to get everyone's thoughts, questions, feedback, whatever.
Yeah, man, definitely been a bit of a tough market this actually since Thanksgiving, I'd say. Like as soon as Thursday hit, we started having a bit of a rocky market, and it just feels like it's been rugs ever since. Some cooks in between, like still pockets of activity, but it feels like if you're super involved and aping everything you see, you're just getting destroyed. So it's been really a market of just being, very, very selective. And even then, you're still getting wrecked, it looks like. So just, I don't know. It feels like it's time to just place bets on coins that people forgot about. Like we saw Flog recover well this week after being down immensely. Nobody was talking about it for a while. And I think that was happening with a lot of coins where everybody was focused on the quick money, right? And yeah, I mean, I think now it's maybe time to do that. Like maybe place your bets on tokens that you liked in the past and that survived this whole kind of like dip. And also, like you said, maybe these coins are doing well. Like there's a lot of like good action on other chains, and I think something like Base is a lot like ETH, in where they don't crash the same way and they steadily increase, right? Where it's just not a lot of jeets and crazy volatility. So it's probably a bit of a safer bet. But yeah, man, the altcoins stole the show this week. It's been insane to see crazy action on XRP, TRX, you name it. Every coin that you could think of that's in a major exchange took had its turn in pumping and going to new, well, this cycle's highs. So yeah, it's been for shitcoins. It hasn't been the best week, but that's just why you have to like be careful and not over ape this week, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's important to pay even if you aren't trading like any type of like the big major coins, it's still important to pay attention to them and kind of how price is swinging in between them, especially like ETH and Sol in Bitcoin, obviously. Usually when Sol is pumping and doing well, that leads to a shitcoin environment. We kind of like saw that even on like a lower time frame. Like we saw that like just like last night, there actually were quite a bit of coins like pumping late at night because Sol was also pumping at the same time a good amount. Like the Grayscale had just filed for an ETF. And not even like coins related to that, but just like in general, it was like, oh, people like want to be more risk on with Sol pumping. I think you see that a lot when whatever the chain is, underlying coin. So like ETH, is another example of that when that's pumping. That like a lot of times the memes on there will do well as well. And we saw that with Ripple too, XRP. There's quite a few memes on there that were running a lot. And kind of like a lot with these like alt chains, like non-Sol ETH stuff. When everyone in the timeline starts talking about it, it's probably the time to sell, not the time to buy the memes. We saw that with XRP, where all of a sudden, like within 24 hours, like a bunch of people were talking about XRP memes and like army and stuff, and it was at like 100 million valuation or whatever. And usually that's not the time to get in. Usually the time to get in is when like XRP has pumped a good amount, like, and is like still seems like it's gonna pump more, like then like look for some alternative plays if you think there's gonna be some kind of continuation in that trend before people actually start talking about the underlying shitters on that chain itself. So I thought there was some decent lessons learned from that whole episode.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and we saw the same thing even last night where I don't think many people in here even caught that, but Binance Smart Chain launched their own version of Pump Fund, and the same thing happened where kind of like with Ape Chain, where there was a little bit of excitement. BNB started pumping like crazy. Cake started pumping like crazy because that's what they're using for Pancake Swap. And you had some shitters that their pump fund that did okay, but it went up and down real fast. Like I think it was probably one of the fastest ones I've seen. I don't know if anything's running today. It's still one that we can take a look at because Binance, especially in 2020, that was like the big thing, right? Everybody was trading altcoin, well, shitcoins actually, they on Binance, and they have their own kind of niche users over there, so it might be a play. But so far, from what I've seen, it was just a really quick pump and dump. But maybe once it's established and people get used to using that over there, it might run a little bit. So definitely want to keep an eye on. But overall, yeah, it's always been the same. Like you see quick action, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden the rug and everybody goes back to pump fun on Sol. So yeah, it's starting to get very, very widespread over here. There's a lot of different things that people can do and attention is diverted like crazy. So it's been kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where the attention is going. It feels like it's time just for simplicity and not chase. Because once you've heard, kind of like we said with XRP, once we see it on the timeline, once we start seeing everybody talk about it, it's probably too late. Like there was no way I was gonna start buying XRP at $3 and buy all kinds of like shit coins on another chain, chasing and becoming exit liquidity for, you know what I mean, everybody that was smart enough to get in super early. So yeah, a bit of a hard one. You don't want to be chasing right now. I think if you chase, someone's just gonna dump on you.
Yeah, I think a good way of looking at this, or like to like I guess analyze from a data perspective, is to look at like flow of money from chain to chain. And there's a really good tool. It's not working for me right now for some reason. I don't know if it's my VPN or what, but I'll share it. You can share this stuff in voice hangout chat. But Artemis.xyz/flows. I don't. Someone tell me if that's working for you or not. I don't know why it's not working for me. But usually you'll be able to see flows like you can.
Artemis.
Sorry, what was that?
How do you spell Artemis? I put ARTEMIS.
It's in voice. Right? It's in voice hangout chat.
Okay, chat. Look, I'll try it for you.
Oh,
there we go. App.Artemis. That's what I missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working for me. You want a screen share of it just so you can explain it?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Melon.
No, all good, bro. All good. Good info. I've not got this tool. I like tools, bro. It's getting bookmarked straight away.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is really helpful. You can sort it by different time periods too. I think right now the default looks like it's 3 month. You can sort it by like 1 day as well. Just to see kind of where money's flowing right now. Obviously the top thing's base by quite a bit, so a lot of people are bridging over to base. And you can also see outflows, which is really helpful. So people are moving from ETH mainnet, looks like, Polygon. They're also going to Solana too, is the second one, but it's good to see kind of how money is moving, and that's obviously a good indicator of volume as well on these different chains. And if the pumps of, if there is like some kind of season, like you could have seen on Tron, for example, when there was the whole Tron meta, I think like a few months ago, it was a lot higher than normal on the daily flows. And you could just track that on an ongoing basis to see how flows were doing, if they were slowing down or speeding up or whatever. And that's usually a good indicator of the market cap of these memes as well. If the shitter season over there is gonna speed up or slow down too. So I just think it's a really good tool to be able to track different I guess metas on alternative chains.
This is a great tool. It gives you such a good overview of everything. I've never seen this one before. Wow, I'm actually mesmerized here. Look at all that money in ETH in and out. Crazy.
Look at Arbitrum here. You see, the only one thing I'm finding weird there. Look, December the 1st, Arbitrum's right up the top with nearly 50 mil. December the 2nd, same again with 40 mil. But then here, it's not suggesting the same, which is confusing me. Because surely if ecosystem net flows, what's this? Bridged inflows minus bridged outflows. So it's money in, which is the same as this.
It's a different period.
I must be blind. I swear it said base and Solana. I was on the 1 day, wasn't I? That was why.
Yeah, the other one's a 3-month down low.
Yeah. I was looking at an individual day though. But I was finding it weird that I didn't see Arbitrum up here, but now I do. I must have been tripping, honestly. Arbitrum's seeing there's a lot of activity past few days, and I just wonder why.
That might make it undervalued.
It's hyperliquid for sure.
Oh, it's hyperliquid on.
You need a bridge. Yeah. Hyperliquid is like L3 on ARB, so you need to bridge to ARB and then bridge to hyperliquid from there, or just deposit into hyperliquid from there.
Clayton, I haven't seen that in ages.
That makes sense. The Arbitrum, I didn't think about hyperliquid being it, but it's true. And that coin just hasn't stopped, man. I think it hit 13 yesterday. I haven't checked today, but it's been insane, that run.
What is that? ARB?
It's hyperliquid, bro. It's like
hyperliquid.
Yeah, it had like $13.
I was going to be in pain if it was ARB. What is ARB?
Yeah, I've seen people. I've seen people making the joke that Arbitrum's or Hyperliquid's bridge token is 3x what Hyperliquid is, and they're calling Arbitrum Hyperliquid's bridge token.
That's funny.
Is that what people are using it for right now?
If I'd have held Arbitrum airdrop till now, that's like impossible. I would have never managed that. But yeah.
What do you mean? Your Arbitrum, bro? You would have went through so many highs and lows. You would have been freaking out.
Oh yeah, my mental health would be in the gutter just for like that extra 30%. But yeah.
No, you did all right. You did what you could. Honestly, it would have been better just to sell ARB and hold ETH or get back into ETH or any other main coin. Actually, Arbitrum has actually underperformed. I've been following it for quite a while, looking for entries, and I even told people to buy was at $1 a few months ago, or maybe close to it, and it just hasn't been the best performing coin. Like now, it's starting to catch a little steam.
Yeah, I think it just has a lot of unlocks and dumping, and it's just getting taken over in terms of usage by base, especially, and also Sol.
This is a cool tool. Thank you for this. I like this.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, look, you can even build your own dashboards. I don't know if it's sharing all my different tabs right now, or if it was just sharing the. But yeah, I've obviously got to log in, but it seems like there's a dashboard builder as well, so you can have what you want to look at. Chain composition. That's hard to look at. What's going on here? Right, Solana. Oh, look, that's good as well. You can see like the portion of. Like what portion of the network activity, meme coins or NFTs or NFTs having a comeback as well, it seems.
That's pretty cool. I haven't dug in too much on it. I'll have to get more in depth. That's interesting.
Daily
yeah, there's a lot of good data on there.
Oh, it doesn't have Phantom on it. Phantom is my play for this year.
Yeah, anyone else on just like what we've been talking about with different metas, different chains, what have you, before we move on next topic. Cool. Yeah, thank you, Melon, for screen sharing. Appreciate it.
No problem at all. I don't mind leaving it open. I'm just going to be digging for shit coins to buy, to be honest. But yeah. I think I saw I posted something in the chat that a little bit of a conviction play on that.
Have you been doing good the last few days, Melon, in the shitcoin streets? I'm
like good at I'm good at helping other people make money. That's what I've realised. My best bet for making money this month is get MVP. Genuinely, because I will make good calls, and then I will go in on stuff that I don't call, or like someone else is cool, and I'll FOMO in with the wrong size or something. It just keeps happening, and then I get wrecked and I undo all my profits. And I've been on a like 30 soul, bouncing between 30 soul and 5 soul for weeks, and I keep getting back and then fucking it up. If I'm honest, I'm not gonna.
I think that's a common problem, honestly, especially right
Yeah.
now. It's so hard to trade, and that's why I opened up by saying we need to kind of be careful right now, because it just feels like it's so easy to lose it all. You see something run to 3 or 4 million and right back down to zero. So it's been rug after rug, and it's just been a really, really bad market. Even if you try to have conviction, it doesn't even go anywhere because of how spread out we all are, and I mean how many rugs there are. And I guess retail came in and ruined everything. It's like ever since we got the TikTok meta and we had all these guys like cheering for 5K shitters to climb up to 30K and make all this money, like. Anyway, I feel like they've really, really, like, that whole thing was like a top for us for now. Anyway, I think we will get back to shitters, but altcoins need to cool off first of all, and then maybe slowly the memes will start running again. That's what I think is going to happen. Anyway, I think altcoins are going to cool off, and meme coins like the established ones, WIF and Pepe, they're going to start running again because they've cooled off for a little while now, but they've been in a good accumulation zone. And then after that, maybe we'll get back into like real shitters. But in there's always going to be activity on shitters. It's just, are you actually going to hit the right ones to make money? Like some are going to pop off once in a while. We're going to get one that's going to run to a few hundred mil. It's just, are you going to be in that one, or are you going to get rugged and lose all your funds in between? That's the big question.
Yeah, that's the problem for me. It's like it's trying to be more selective with my plays, or at least sizing properly when I'm doing stuff where it's higher risk, and I get a bit overexcited once I've made some soul. I'm like, oh, I'm sitting on a nice bag now, and I start throwing soul around like I've got endless amounts. And then find myself back down to the like, oh god, I've got to be really smart and get myself out of this whole stage, and I just keep doing that. It's actually annoying, but yeah.
It feels like a Solana.
Wrecked. Very
it's
easy.
really on Solana that happens the most. I feel like everywhere else is a little bit more stable, but yeah. Jake, what do you have for us? What did you want to get into?
Yeah, on similar topic of what you guys are already talking about, I think before we get into anything else, I think in general it feels a bit like memes are a little like, I don't know, they feel a little, I don't want to say cooked, but at least like the bigger ones, they just feel like there's not a lot of like momentum there. Like people don't seem very excited to bid these bigger ones. There's just so many now, which kind of sucks. Just like there's so many, it's just spread out. I mean, obviously, I mean, I can obviously name like Peanut, Mudang, Popcat, with I don't know, the list goes on. Obviously, it's just hard to kind of like pick one, and they just rotate so fast. It just seems like right now, at least until I think Bitcoin crosses 100K. I think we certainly get a really nice, obviously volume increase, price increase probably across the board. And you can see, I guess, what shows strength around then. But until then, it really seems like people are just interested in AI stuff. I don't. By now, like it's been long enough that it doesn't seem like it's going to go away. And just the fact, I think we talked about this. I mean, we talked about this before for sure, but and Ross did a great job covering it. If you haven't listened to Ross's kind of like special Ross Boss episode earlier this week, he did it like specifically on AI. It was really good dive in. But just in general, like they are just continuing to have new use cases. The different AI agents and bots and coins and what have you. That given this is all just like mainly a game of attention, like it just makes sense that they're going to continue to garner attention if they can continue to update, right, and provide new ways of delivering value or utility or whatever. I think case in point with like the AI XBT stuff, where you literally get access to like a terminal, like a Bloomberg style terminal, trading terminal for crypto, via owning this bot. And it's had some like really good alpha insights. as well, just on Twitter, even if you don't hold the coin, but you can kind of like dig in even more if you do have the coin and stuff like that. I think makes a lot of sense. And we're just like continuing to see upgrades as well across the board, that it just seems like, given the fact that that's also like AI is obviously like a huge topic just in like TradFi world too. It just makes sense that this stuff is gonna continue on in a trend, and it's not just like a one-off meta sort of thing. So I'm personally just like trying to stick with that for now, while memes have been obviously big like for a lot of this cycle. Um, and I don't think they're going away, but just the fact that there's so many now, it's just like becoming harder and harder, like for any to like sustain any type of momentum. Like we see a pump and then a dump and then a rotation, and I don't know if we're really going to see much until like a big wave of new people come back into crypto, which I don't think happens until 100K. So I'd say like that's kind of what I'm focused on right now, is just like select plays, focusing more on winners, because I've just been getting absolutely wrecked with new coins on Sol lately. But yeah, that's largely how I'm seeing things right now.
Hey,
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense for sure. Go ahead, Aslan.
can you hear me? Is my mic okay today?
Better than mine,
Yeah.
bro.
That's not the bargain zone. So yeah, I just had one thought, which is I'll like a little bit revise my comment the other day about, in line with what you're saying, right? Memes being kind of cooked and whatever, but like taking the next step with that, which is of course the why, which we know why, right? It's the XRPs and so on and so forth. But I think the thing that I'll revise, my opinion, the thing that I'll revise based on what I said the other day is I think we've got a very good bit to go until memes or something like that would come back into the market. Not that it's going to go away at all or not come back this cycle. And the reason I say that is because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, ETH's pumped. It's already pumped a little bit and it's pumping more. And maybe it's just low expectations. But the reality is that ETH is at 3,800. It's not even close to its all-time high right now, which I think is about 4,800, right? Let alone the fact that, BTC in a normal cycle will be, be up 100, 150% or something like that, right? ETH has more risk, right? ETH should go up 2-3x compared to what it was, right? So I had a little bit revised like my expectation of ETH this cycle. Whether or not it pans out is a different story, but my expectation of ETH is like somewhere between 12 to 15K probably is what's in my mind. Could be higher than that, of course, could be lower than that. But when you look at that compared to 3,800 right now, I mean, we're just like way off. And then you look at the normies and the people coming into the market, and all of those tokens, regardless of which one you pick or like or don't like, right? XRP, ETH, Cardano, who gives a shit, right? It's the same thing. They have history. And to those people, that's safe, right? And all the memes, we don't think so, right? We like the sport, but to them, all of the memes and pump fund and all the stuff that's cropping up, or at least some portion of them, they just think it's crazy and highly risky, right? So I think the big revision I have is that I think we're a ways away from the risk curve adjusting to people wanting to go into something like that. Sorry, that was a bit verbose.
No, you're good. I mean, I think you kind of expanded on what Jake was saying, and that's accurate. Where people, I think we're starting to see the Dino coins run again because they had actual substance to them. Some of them, anyway, right? And a lot of the volume that's coming in is coming into exchanges because that's just for people that are like more from past cycles and more like retail traders that trade in a bull and not in a bear. That's where they usually go for to trade. And what do you have there? You have a lot of the bigger coins. You have some memes, but what are you seeing? You're seeing a rising tide lifts all boats type of scenario where one coin will run, then the next, and the next, and the next. People are always looking for the one that hasn't moved yet, and that's kind of the play right now. I think we might even be late for that, where that's where all these legacy coins are running, is because, hey, wow, this one ran. What about TRX? What's that one doing? Oh crap! Okay, I just saw him on TV. He just ate a banana. let me buy the TRX, and then TRX pumped 2x. It's like for the next one, you're seeing like a cascading effect, and you see this every bull run. It was the same thing last year. We saw multiple times in the same bull run. You know what I mean? They all had a wave of pumps, and then look, maybe sometimes there was a flush out, and everything would come back down, or we'd have a consolidation period across the board, and the mains would run like. You know what I mean? There's always cycles to this thing, and I think right now that's exactly what's happening. Is if you look, I don't know if you guys trade on centralized exchanges. I do. I always have a wallet running on that, and I play this game often. And it's what made like in 2020 before NFTs. That's what I was doing with most of my time was trading all these coins. So I'm seeing the same thing I used to see even in 2020, where sectors are moving one by one, and coins that are in a certain sector are moving. And maybe now memes are a little bit slower than the rest, but they've already had their run. So it's kind of it makes sense that right now they'd be cooling off. So yeah, I like what you guys are saying. You're right about it being a cool off period for memes, but when you look at a centralized exchange and you see what coins are offered on that exchange, and yes, I find there's a lot more now than there were 4 years ago. It feels like where you'd have 100 coins to choose from 4 years ago, maybe you have 1,000 or more now to choose on each exchange. But I feel like once everything's moved, people will probably flow back into memes just because they see that on that centralized exchange itself where they trade exclusively, those haven't caught up to the rest of the market. So that's my biggest thing is I think memes are going to cool off for a bit, but some will run again, and it might be the ones that are mostly on exchanges for now. We'll see. I mean, I'm looking and everything's super green on every exchange. It's getting pretty crazy out there. It's fun to have an altcoin season. It's fun to see ETH run and stuff. There's just so much opportunity. And I guess my message is mostly don't get stuck to just doing shit coins because you saw the fast money. Look for something else because there's a lot going on right now. You don't have to stay stuck just on the shit coins. You're risking everything, you know what I mean, to get ahead when you have safer plays right now that can probably get you ahead anyway.
I just had one other small comment, if I may. I didn't want it to put in, which is, just building on top of this, which is, and it's a little bit with like Van Squeep's comment too. I don't think Doge, Pepe, Shib fall into memes. I mean, I know they're memes, but I don't think they fall into the memes. To the retail investor, those are like XRP, whatever. They have history, right? That's really, I think, the definition split that exists here. And so if you almost build like a spectrum that exists, right? Where on the left side of the spectrum, you have all the tokens that are running right now, BTC, ETH, and XRP, and Sol, and so on and so forth, right? The next thing in line with the spectrum would have to be things like ETH NFTs, for instance, right? Which also have a history and some track record that exists. And then maybe you get to like, BTC, you get to ordinals, and you maybe then get to runes at some point, right? On and on and on until you get to like the new memes, Sol memes at the end of the spectrum, right? Hyper risky, fast moving, so on and so forth, right? And so, if you just simply think that right now that the old tokens are where the attention is, which I certainly do for a lot of reason, I don't even think Sol memes would be next in line, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of things to get through. I'm concerned, in quotes, like, is there ever going to be a wave that gets to runes? Is that wave ever going to come? Because it's so far down the risk spectrum, in my opinion. I would put NFTs in front of it, I put ordinals in front of it, et cetera, right? It's just a lot of things to get through before you can get back to something like that, I think.
For sure. And I didn't mean Sol meme because you see like with, or you know what I mean, like Pepe and all those, like the top ones that are getting listed everywhere. Like Giga Chad got listed today, and it actually did really well. It almost 2x, almost over 500 million market cap again, so it's recovered well. Like I think maybe the more available, accessible to the retail are going to do well. I don't mean like all the Sol meme coins. Eventually they might again because so many people are going to get, like if the whole market goes sideways, they're going to look for someone to bid on them. That's probably what they're going to gravitate towards. But yeah, about runes, like I think that's niche, right? It's Bitcoin people that are going to trade that. And in a way, yeah, I guess it is going to be hard for them to get new people in there, but it kind of crosses the worlds of NFTs and shitcoins. People that are on Magic Eden are probably going to be playing on there. But yeah, I mean, it's probably going to take a little while. And I think we're probably going to have another flush out before anything because they're going to become easier to trade soon with the swaps. And I have a feeling that's going to not be good for them short term. Kind of like when they first became accessible and we all thought they'd pump to the moon and they became a dump fest. We might get another round of dumping as soon as they become easier to trade, right, before we actually move up. And I think you're right. I think the focus is not there right now, but eventually it might be.
Cool. Yeah, we can get on another topic here. Let's see. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this Hawk Tua coin, which is just funny to talk about, but I think there's gonna be a good amount of attention on it. And it's obviously happening in a couple hours, so pretty topical. So might as well hit on it, right? I've been like trying to find a comparison to like figure out how this is really gonna play out. But I haven't really thought of a good one yet. It's probably dumb. It's probably like not. It might not even be like worth the time, but maybe it is. It's obviously like very normy. Um, it's very has a, like not a lot of normie attention, or it could at least. Given I feel like everyone knows who this like talk to a girl is now, or hawk to a girl is now. And she's doing it in a way where she's partnering with a bunch of crypto people, and she obviously did the whole, crypto world tour, if you will, before launching the coin, the classic. And I'm sure it's going to be a farm. It's definitely like a grift, I'm sure. Um, but I do think it has a chance to be okay in terms of if you can play it right, get in early enough. For swing trade, I don't know. It's probably like not even like that worth conversation, but I did want to hear thoughts. What's appealing to me is that like everyone in crypto who has like heard about this coin is like immediately disgusted by it, and that almost makes me want to buy it. Um, because it is so hated right away, and usually these type of things where it's consensus before launch, you just aren't really able to get any type of like good entry, and it doesn't do well. So if minds can be changed by price increasing, and has a hated rally, if you will, then that's relatively interesting to me. But it certainly depends on how much like is like bundled and dumped and all that in Insider. So we'll be tracking all that, but I just at least wanted to bring it up because I thought it was interesting and it's happening here in a couple hours. Any thoughts on the coin?
I guess I'll give my thoughts first. Snipers are going to be all over this thing. That's the main issue here is that they gave the contract out just last week or whatever it was. So snipers are going to cook on this. And they also, the one thing that I kind of found not too bad is that I was even surprised by this. They partnered with like Meme Land and stuff to give away free spots. And it looks like that partnership came in a little late because they only put it up like at 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern. And they were closing it this morning at 8 a.m. since the coin is coming out today. So I guess it's cool that they reached out to those communities to give out allocation at least, but it just feels like it's going to be a little bit of a mess, right? I mean, they already dropped the coin info. There's probably going to be a bunch of snipers on this, and then obviously there's going to be a lot of insiders on it with big allocation. If you get an early, maybe you can profit. If you're good at timing balances, maybe you can profit. But in general, I feel like it's just going to open up so high that for people that are looking to buy secondary, it's just you might get wrecked. I'm going to be mostly just watching, but I kind of agree with you where when everybody's hating on something, usually there's like a hated rally, right? So I'm going to have my eyes on it just in case there's a good entry. Anybody else in chat? I want to hear different opinions. You can type it up in voice chat and we'll follow you through if you can't speak or don't want to speak.
I thought for sure there'd be some opinions on this one. Either way, I mean, please contradict me. That'd be great.
I mean, everything else aside, Kobe unlocking his account, that's fucking crazy bullish.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. That's sweet. And and the fact that he just tweeted that Bitcoin's going to be the #1 asset in the world.
Yeah,
Flip gold.
I don't think I could be more bullish, but wow, this guy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
As far as Haktua goes, though, I agree with you, Jinzo. I think the snipers are going to have a field day with this one, but it will be good to keep an eye on it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't try to buy any type of like initial candles. I think there'll be plenty of like dump opportunities of buying the dip. God, I was trying to find the distribute. Like I saw this. There was a tweet earlier about how they were doing the rollout of it, where I think all the allow list people are getting theirs 2 hours after launch. So that's something to obviously factor in to your decision making. There won't be as much coins initially to dump, so there might be opportunity, I'd say early, where price could appreciate faster when people think, because the allow list people can't dump right away. But I have to look in a little bit more into the supply side of things. Foxy, we're talking about the Hawk to a coin launch right now in VC. And just in general, shitcoin stuff. We have for those who just popped in, we have a shitcoin show every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And it's open forum. You guys can all chime in, obviously.
Yeah, Fox is saying, oh yeah, it's the day. Fuck. Probably because he's like, man, I gotta get my bot ready. What's going on here? I don't have enough time. Foxy, give us your thoughts, bro. What do you think? How do you think this is gonna go down? Nartoshi says these nodes cabal going to run crazy loops on this drop. They should have dropped. They shouldn't have dropped C early. I feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's accurate. The big bot groups are gonna cook like crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna get crazy snipes. I'm definitely not trying to snipe it. I'm not advanced enough for that. But I'm just gonna try and swing trade it. Hopefully, be some nice scalps opportunities. Ideally, we'll see.
Yeah, I was kind of with you.
Oh, go ahead.
I was kind of with you on that, Jake. When it came out like a week or two ago, I was like, oh, maybe interested. And then the celebrity kind of went back through my head of how many times I got burnt by following a celebrity thing. So I was kind of like, not going to go for it was my mentality. And then I woke up to the meme land, like doing it. So that probably would have been the one way that I would have went into it if I got allocation through that, but probably going to fade it and watch from the sidelines. But given that I'm going to fade it, it's probably going to mean that it could pump. So back and forth.
Yeah, it'll probably depend a lot on what she's willing to do for her coin, but this doesn't feel like she's going to be putting effort at all. Like a team behind it is going to, it's not like Mother with Iggy that decided to be a degen all of a sudden and let go of the rest of her life and just give all her attention to her coin. Like that's the standard for me. You want someone that's able to do that, right? It's the only one. She's the only one who's able to do that because, that's what she wants to do. She loves this and she's into it 100% now. But you're not going to see that from Hawk 2, or you're not going to see that. Like, what are you really expecting in the future? Like, unless it's going to be some sort of utility coin. And even then, that's never bullish. Like, I don't, We're looking to make money here, not wait for 3 years for them to actually drop something. No good. But yeah, I wanted to shout out Mac Attack for the crazy cover that he just made for Sky Daddy's epic MVP win. This thing's insane, man. Mac Attack, bro. Wow. And Sky Daddy, congratulations again. This is crazy. Sky Daddy scan the sky. I love it.
Oh yeah, and just I guess on another note, I'd be careful with the Soul coins if you are trading like around the time of the drop. I'm sure it's going to siphon a lot of volume, so it'll be harder for other stuff to do well, unless it like completely implodes, and then people might revenge trade on some different stuff. But I would just be cautious with other Soul coins in the next few hours here.
That's an excellent call. Even Hyperliquid destroyed everybody's floors, and that was not even on Soul. So I can imagine with this, this is probably going to affect it too, for sure. It's always wild analyzing mass rotation when there's something that happens in the space. It kind of goes to show how low liquid people are. And they just, oh man, what can I sell to go do this? And then things just dump across the board. In the end, we're all the same person, over invested in the wrong things, looking for liquidity last second when something comes out. We're all doomed.
Yeah. Cool. This is probably enough time talking about the talk to a coin. It's probably too much already attention, but want to at least bring it up with how relevant it is right now.
Yeah, I don't have much else to cover, Jake. Anything on your end? If not, we could open it up to the crowd.
No, I guess just like a note on just a general note on like AI coins. I'd say even though I do think that they're continue to do really well, I'd be careful with like a lot of the new stuff. You guys might already obviously realize this and know this, but obviously so many of them are LARPs and just like farms and just like very quick. I've been even getting burnt on like brand new stuff for sure. Where I think it looks legitimate, like they have a working site and everything, but they rug anyway. So like I'd say like I'd be cautious. Like if you are gambling on new launches, even if it runs up into the millions, a lot of times like they can like these devs can pretty easily create like some type of AI, a working site where AI is like talking to you, or you can play like a game or whatever on the site, and stuff like that, where just like stuff where it's like heavily reliant on a dev to execute and continue to execute, and the dev themselves is not even like doxed or let alone like has a Twitter account that has like a bunch of mutual followers that people know about. Um, I would just be like extremely careful with those because it's just like ultimate farm season for those specific types of coins. Even if they do run up a lot, like I think it's still like in like, oh no, I missed, like I could have still gotten like a 3x or whatever if I would have just bought. Like I wouldn't like worry too much about that, and like feel that type of FOMO for these new kind of coins. Just given that like so many are getting bid up like way too high and then they end up rugging anyway. Um, I just want to like express a general word of caution because I've seen a lot of people get burned by that. Like I've been getting burned by that myself for sure. Especially like these chat bots, and I don't know, like a lot of the stuff like isn't like new, and it's like nothing special as well. Like even if it's just like a chat bot on Twitter, like who cares at this point? There's so many of those now. Like there it needs to be something else, in my opinion, to do anything decent.
Great shout. How about this for a closing thing? What's going to be? What do you think your main focus is going to be for the next couple of days? And yeah, what are you looking at most? And what how do you think you're going to move now for a couple of days that are coming up?
Yeah, I mean, just in general with new stuff, it's always just like if it's something that's like novel that I haven't seen before, and again, like if it's by at least like semi reputable person, even if they aren't docs, they have done like other stuff in the space. Like you can look back on their Twitter account and see that they at least have like legitimate followers and it's not like a bot account or whatever. And um they have some type of like credentials behind them. If it is obviously like AI bot related, memes in general have been just getting slaughtered. Like there's been like no, I feel like there's been like no good new memes that have done well. I mean, maybe a couple, but for the most part, it has not been like the season for like new meme coins. So I'm probably largely staying away from that unless it's like a slam dunk type thing. Um, that's kind of what I'm looking at, and then just in general bidding like established coins. Like I really like the AI XPT. I've been talking about this for weeks now, but I think it's an awesome coin. It just provides so much utility. And then I do want to shout out again another lower cap one that's similar, but NFT XBT is like similar premise. A virtual base coin launched like AI XBT, and the founder of FX Hash is the dev behind it. Which FX Hash is like the biggest, I think, Tezos art site, and I think they support a couple other chains too. But they've been around for quite a while, so it's at least like a legitimate dev behind it. And the bot isn't live yet, so I think that's why it's kind of just been ranging for several days now. But once they actually do go live, because they don't want to go live and have it be like not a quality experience for people. They want it to go live and actually like be able to give semi decent alpha and information regarding the NFT market. So I think it's like a solid beta play that also has like its own unique utility to it, and especially with NFTs doing well recently, I think it makes sense that like something that can give you an AI that can give you NFT alpha would do well too. I just think it's just kind of like consolidating right now because it's not live, but once it goes live, and obviously you're betting on the execution. There's the risk of the execution risk there of like it could not be like it could just like not provide valuable alpha. So there's certainly a gamble there. If you want to like wait till it's live, that's certainly fine too. But if it is good and it goes live, then I'm sure the price is gonna be quite a bit higher at that time. So we'll see. But yeah, those are a couple of my favorites right now.
I like it. Yeah, good shouts. I'm aligned on a lot of that too. AIXBT is on a dip right now. I might add. I like that. That's probably my favorite account right now. And UBC I've been bidding too. I've been trying to play the like it's been ranging in a crazy range where you can buy and sell and make profits. So I've been trying to play that game a little bit. Other than that, keeping it on the market. If something pops out, at me, and I think is a good like bid, I'll try to play that. Try to play the game a little bit, like the scalp game, but I don't think I'm going to be holding much of anything that's in the shitcoins right now. I'm also, like I said earlier, playing altcoins a lot right now. I think there's volume there, so they could be played. I've also been trying to short and long the market. I don't usually do that too much, but I feel like right now there's an opportunity with this crazy volatility. So I've been playing very small amounts and for longs and shorts, and so far I've been doing very well. So I'm probably just gonna keep honing that skill. Once I see the market's getting like too crazy, I'm just gonna stop. But for now, I feel like there's opportunity there, so I've been doing it. Just finding coins that haven't moved yet and putting longs in. If I see something run too hard, like a TRX or an XRP, then I put a short in. But I'm trying to pick my spots very carefully. So I just think that right now it's a good time to learn that, as long as you don't pick coins that have already started pumping. So I've been trying to hone my skills on basically leverage trading without putting crazy amounts. I'm putting $100 at a time just to mess around. I mean, I'm losing more than reading the shitcoins, so I figured might as well put like stop losses and take profits and play very safe doing leverage, but not getting crazy with it, because obviously it can get out of hand fast. But yeah, those are my main focuses right now.
Yeah, definitely be careful with leverage stuff. I've certainly noticed in the past when people who don't normally get into leverage are like when a bunch of them are starting to trade leverage and they've been winning, then that's usually like a top signal for leverage, and there's like a huge wipeout because open interest is way too high and they get wrecked. So I'll just be careful with that personally.
Yeah, good shot. I should open with that, but same here. I usually never do it because I know that always comes. There's always a flush. I don't recommend anybody do it. If you want to play alts or any coins at all, spot and chill. That's been what I do, because anytime I touch leverage, I get wrecked. But like I said, I just put a small amount just to test it out, and that's it. Like, I don't recommend anybody do it. Spot and chill.
Couple other things regarding the AI stuff. Yeah, also the chaos coin, I should say, shout out. I have a lot of that one too. Disclaimer, but that was made by AI XBT, and AI XBT is like has by far the biggest mind share on Twitter right now, and it's very similar if you want to draw a comparison to like Goat and Fartcoin, where I'm pretty sure Goat shout out Cough Drop, he's the one who originally gave me that comparison that I saw, but it's like similar where Goat, I think, at least came up with the idea. I don't think it actually launched Fartcoin, if I'm not mistaken. But in terms of market cap, like Fartcoin is like a third. Yeah, I know. I said Fartcoin, Ryan. Yes. It's like a third of the market cap of Goat, which is like a lot higher than what a normal beta would be. So I think it's interesting. Whereas, there's a chance Chaos could be a lot higher than what a normal beta of like a main runner could be, given that comparison. So I want to shout that out. And also, another good tool to use that I think is really good, I have in my bookmarks, is this cookie.fun. I shared it, I think, during Wake and Jake, or maybe it was last week's shitcoin chat. But it shows mind share of these AI agents on Twitter, which is like really helpful because, again, say this all the time, but we're trading. A lot of this is just like trading attention, right? So if you can find kind of attention gaps between like attention and market cap of the coin, then that makes sense. Like you can see here, AIXBT has trended down in terms of his overall market share, but it's still like dominating with like 20% here, versus the next highest is Goat at like 7%. And then you can see the change, obviously, of all these other AI agents and how they're capturing mind share. So if you think in general, like this segment of the market is going to continue to do well, I think this is a really good one to keep monitor in case you can find some discrepancies between attention and price.
Yeah, we shouted that out on Monday, and it blew my mind. Like, just these tools are just so powerful now. It's like we used to have to pay for things like this. Now everything's just at our fingertips. It's great.
Yeah, very true. I know. It's so nice that a lot of this is free.
Well, that's all I got.
All I had too on the docket.
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah. I was just say, yeah, that's all I had as well.
Perfect.
Anything else that anyone here in the community wanted to chat through regarding shitcoin stuff?
Yeah, we still got time. Pop in. Come say hi. Tell us what you're looking at. Give us a different angle.
Even give an opportunity to shill your bags if you want. I don't think anyone's taken us up on that yet.
Yeah, I think we would have had a lot of people shilling Mama and the Hyrax token, but they all sold out after it ran. So, no funny memes today.
Van Squeeve is mega bullish on virtual. Who? Sorry, was it? Let me see. Someone wrote, Riki Maro just released a field report on virtual today. So go give that a read. I still gotta do that myself.
Good call. I got to check that out too. I feel like what's going on there is a lot like what we see even on Bitcoin early on, where people don't feel like doing two bridges, and maybe sometimes they don't know how to get involved. So a lot of that ecosystem is a little bit suppressed by that. But I feel like if it was done differently, it probably would have pumped higher, or maybe it'll just sustain it too. Might see slow, steady pumps on it as people move in by bridging into virtual and into the coins.
I mean, if I'll jump in and I am invested in this, but I really think it's pretty interesting. It's funny. It's called Sitcom, and they just stream on X, and they have like 5 or 6 characters that I guess are all AIs, and they just like converse all day, and you can go on the Telegram and suggest topics and whatnot. And yeah, it's interesting. I'd take a look. I'd be curious to know what everybody else thinks about it as well.
They've been doing that on TikTok with like Family Guy, like stuff for forever. You could just do it on TikTok. And I'm not saying that the shitcoin element of it is not innovative, but yeah, just a thought.
It's probably where it came from too, because we had I know you were here, we had a large intersection of a large crossover from TikTok to shitcoins in the last few weeks. So that's probably where it got inspired from.
Great. That makes me really, really excited to jump back in, knowing that TikTok has taken over crypto. Fantastic.
They came in and they burned the place down when they left.
Yeah, very true. They came in quick and fucked shit up, and then it seems like they're gone again. They'll be back when Bitcoin's above 100K, I bet.
USDC to 100. Let's go.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for coming. That was a fun talk. You're more than welcome to stick around and chat and talk about different things and maybe find some books. But that'll wrap up the official portion of this talk. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you all. Much appreciated. Thank you guys for joining in. Maybe next week we'll have a new mic for Jinzo. Actually, I won't be here next week, but Jinzo, you're welcome to continue to host. I'm heading out for my honeymoon here in a couple days.
I'll try to find a better mic since I'm going to be like taking over the talk entirely. I'll see what I could do.
But yeah, you guys are obviously welcome to stick around, keep chatting it up.